Welcome back, everybody. This is Latin's Fight Picks. Today we'll go over the card for tomorrow for Edwards versus Covington. UFC 296, the last fight card of the year. And we will not have another fight card for, I believe, for another 4 weeks, which will be terrible. But nevertheless, it is the season. I would like to apologize for not getting this video out sooner. I was trying to get it out yesterday and I had my picks ready. I was going to put it out late, but then I kept looking at some fights and I looked at my board and I just was getting buyer's remorse on some of the picks. And I just wanted to think about it for one more night and restructure the board where I thought some of the dangers could be alleviated by moving them on the confidence level. And yeah, I was just kind of brooding over this. Even though like I kind of kept the same picks, I just wanted to move them in a way where if something went wrong, then maybe it wouldn't affect like a parlay or something as much. So it was a little back and forth. You know, I kept the same picks. I just didn't want to go back and change it. But at the same time, there were some things that I had to highlight and some concerns about some fighters that I had to just kind of reevaluate and exactly how much stock I want to put into their ability to win. So, yeah, apologies. It's Friday, just after 12 o'clock in the afternoon. So let's get this video out. We'll discuss a few things. There's a lot to go over. So let's start. As usual, we'll start off with the bottom of the card and we'll work our way to the top. All right, let's do this. Randy Brown, Muslim Salikov, that was canceled. Next fight, Martin Buday versus Shamil Gaziev. Martin Buday, 6'4", 77-inch reach, 13 wins, 1 loss, 32 years old. Shamil Gaziev, 6'4", 78.5-inch reach, 11 wins, 0 losses, 33 years old. When I first looked at this fight, I wasn't sure because I never heard of Shamil Gaziev. I looked at his regional scenes. He didn't look that good. This is the problem I have is I've actually seen other fighters that I've seen on the regional scenes that didn't look that good. All of a sudden they come to the UFC and they look a lot better. And that's what scares me about this. Now, Martin Buday, I have faded before in the past, and he's a big guy, and I always think that if somebody can take him down, we're gonna see him for the first time having to get back up. But to his credit, he's got great takedown defense, and they haven't been able to take him down. And and to his credit, he's actually got pretty good cardio. He doesn't fight at a high volume, but he can last 3 rounds. Shamil Gaziev in his contender series was grappling for 1 round and looked terribly gassed. He ended up winning that fight. But, I'm going to go with Martin Buday. He's got the more UFC experience. He's surprised me with his gas tank and his takedown defense. But I see a lot of people going with Gaziev, and they keep talking about his ground game. And when I see his ground game and his takedowns, they just seem so sloppy, so brutish, and it just seems Buday is the type of guy that to be able to stuff those takedowns because he's a big guy. He's got a black belt in jiu-jitsu. And people keep saying, oh, this Gaziev guy, this Gaziev, and I just don't see it. But what scares me is this has happened before because I've watched regional scene fights and having them not look that good against those guys. I mean, you're just not sure how good those guys are. Are they the top level of the regional scene guys, or are they not? Nevertheless, Martin Buday is the favorite in this one, and I can't see him losing. I shouldn't say that. I can't see him losing, but I just don't see him losing to Gaziev, especially because the two last fights I've seen Gaziev fight is he won a split decision against a kickboxer, and then he won on his Dana White Contender Series where he took a much shorter opponent down, and then he almost got submitted, and then he kind of reversed it. And it just didn't look that impressive. So I'm gonna go with Boudet. You know, it's the devil we know. Um, I don't know. I just don't see it. I was surprised at how many people are picking the underdog. I guess maybe sometimes people overthink it and they like just really want to pick an underdog. And this is what I wanted to do for this card, but I'm having a hard time picking this underdog just because I don't know Gaziev. But Boudet I do know, and even though I thought he's been built up, and there's this one fight against what's that, Lubeski, um, that I thought he might have lost because of volume. I don't see that happening with Shamil Gaziev. This is going to be a slow, lumbering fight. If Boudet can stuff the takedowns, this is going to be his fight to win. I think Gaziev is going to gas. Gaziev does not have enough gas in the tank, I think. So, no gas for Gaziev. Yeah, Martin Boudet is going to be the pick. Moving on. Andre Fili versus Lucas Almeida. Andre Fili, 5'11", 74-inch reach, 22 wins, 10 losses, 3 years old. Lucas Almeida, 5'11", 71-inch reach, 14 wins, 2 losses, 32 years old. I picked Lucas Almeida last time he fought, what's that wrestler who I don't like his style? He just finished losing against, who did he lose against? Was it? No, he didn't lose against Brito. What's that guy from the Northeast? Now it's slipping my mind. Anyways, yeah, I don't have those notes in front of me, but anyways, I thought of Lucas Almeida. You know, he's very dangerous on the feet, throws big punches, can catch somebody, and the fighter he was fighting against was heavy wrestler. You know, kind of wet blanket on top. And once he got Lucas Almeida down, he just basically controlled him. And second round, he submitted him. And yeah, that kind of destroyed like some parlays I had. So I'm just not impressed with Lucas Almeida. He is a powerful striker from distance. And here's the thing is, he's fighting against somebody who, in Andre Fili, is the same height and 3-inch reach advantage. Andre Fili doesn't always use his reach advantage. He likes getting into these brawls. He's pretty good on the ground. Sometimes he stays too much on the feet when he should be taking it to the ground. But as far as the level of competition, Andre Fili has fought the way better level of competition. And he has beaten some of them. And there are a lot of close fights, but it's okay because these guys are like, you know, the mid to high level of competition that he's fought. And Lucas Almeida, I can't say that for him. And I know he got lost against Zellhuber in a fight that he started off really well, and eventually, you know, he lost that fight. It was a great fight. You know, and I want to make sure that Andre Fili makes the right decisions because, you know, there's a clear path to victory, and it's to take Almeida down. He's got good takedown defense, but he can be taken down, and once he gets taken down, he can be controlled. Andre Fili does take people down, does have decent control, not super control, but that's his path to victory. And a lot of times he gets into these brawls, and I wasn't sure. I'm like, man, if he gets into these brawls, he has a chance of getting hurt, losing some rounds, etc. Right? But he's in a good camp. I think he's at that wrestling heavy camp. I don't take notes because they're usually in here, but when I get in front of the camera, I blank out. Yeah, anyways, he's at a really good camp. There's a lot of smart guys in that camp, and I'm sure they're telling them, look, you don't have to stand on the feet with this guy. There's a clear path to victory. You can take people to the ground. You're good on the ground. Just go to the ground. And I'm hoping not necessarily that Andre Fili has a high IQ, fight IQ. I'm thinking that his camp has a high fight IQ. And at this point in his career, it's not just about exciting fights. He's got to be winning fights so he stays in the promotion. So Andre Fili is going to be the pick. He's got more tools in the toolbox. He should be able to win this on the ground. He just needs to make sure that he's doing it and taking it to the ground. Almeida will be dangerous in the first round. I think eventually Fili should be able to take him down and control him and win this decision. Moving on. Tagir Ulanbekov versus Cody Durden. Tagir Ulanbekov, 5'7", 70-inch reach, 14 wins, 2 losses, 32 years old. Cody Durden, 5'7", 67-inch reach, 16 wins, 4 losses, 1 draw, 32 years old. Same age, same height. Tagir's got a little longer arms, got the long, skinny, choking arms. He's got pretty good front chokes and guillotines. Um, you know, I mean, I've been picking against Cody Durden for a bit, and then I switched, and then actually he won some fights, and the last fight I picked against him again because I thought he had a ceiling that eventually he's going to run into somebody that can match his wrestling, because he basically relentlessly wrestles, and that's how he wins these fights. And last time against Hadley, I thought Hadley had decent wrestling, excellent submissions, and Cody Durden taking him to the ground is where Hadley wants to be anyways. And Hadley almost submitted him, but to Cody Durden's credit, he did not tap. I was just waiting for him to tap. I bet for Hadley, and Durden didn't tap, and he survived it, and then he won that decision. And it was. I mean, he should have been submitted. So technically, he was submitted. He just didn't tap, and Hadley didn't have the ability to snap his arm at that point. So, and then it would have been over anyways. So here we go. So Tagir Ulanbekov, he fought Elliott, and Elliott just basically in his awkward way landed some punches, really outworked Ulanbekov in the first 2 rounds, and Ulanbekov came back, and Elliott did fade as usual. And so he was susceptible to a really high volume, high level wrestler attack where he would just get outpointed. So this is what I was thinking about Cody Durden. This is a coin flip fight. Cody Durden, I don't think anybody's getting finished. The only person who can probably finish Ulanbekov could catch Cody Durden in a guillotine because he's got good guillotine chokes. Cody Durden can get submitted, with that arm, with the arm bar. He didn't tap, but he didn't. The other guy didn't have the leverage. With a guillotine choke, I mean, he's just going to go to sleep. So I'm leaning Ulanbekov. I'm hoping that Ulanbekov has learned from fighting Elliott that he's going to be dealing with a high volume attack for takedowns, and he's ready for it. And Durden, he's always surprised me, but I know he has a ceiling, and I keep missing where that is. This is going to be a coin flip fight. I'm going to lean Ulanbekov, but you'll see on the board it's really low confidence because of what Cody Durden has done so far, and he always seems to find a way to win these fights, and he's got a great gas tank. But I'm going to lean Ulanbekov. You'll see on the board that it's very low on the confidence scale, and if you pick Cody Durden as the underdog, it wouldn't be a bad play. Yeah, but I like to pick. I'm just picking the winners here. Moving on. Alonzo Minifield versus Dustin Jacoby. Alonzo Minifield, 6 feet tall, 76-inch reach, 14 wins, 3 losses, 1 draw, 36 years old. Dustin Jacoby, 6'3", 76-inch reach, 19 wins, 7 losses, 1 draw, 35 years old. I love fading Alonzo Minifield. And I think the first time I bet on him was the last fight when he fought Jimmy Crute from Australia. And first time I was on the side of Minifield, and I felt at ease, and he dominated that fight. He's very powerful. The thing is, I'm always fading him because I think he's going to gas, but it looks like he's fixed that problem. He doesn't gas anymore. And I also faded him because he looked like he was lost on the ground. But now he doesn't look lost on the ground. He's got a good get-up game, good takedown defense. So overall, he's becoming a pretty good fighter, and he's really durable, so he's really tough. I just think I still think he's slow. I think he's slow with his strikes. He's got powerful strikes, but I think he's slow. But he's durable. He's fixed his takedown defense. He's fixed his cardio. He's pretty good on the ground. So like I said, I've only bet on him once, faded him every other time, and a couple times it was good, a couple times it was bad. But here's the thing: is he's fighting Justin Jacoby, who's going to be 3 inches taller. I mean, they're both in their prime. This is it. This is the peak of their career. It's only get downhill after this. Justin Jacoby, I think he's a really underrated fighter. I think he beat Khalil Roundtree in their fight. I think he's a pretty tough guy. I've never seen him KO'd. I've seen him knocked down. He's got great stand-up. He's fast kicks, fast punches. He's not scared to engage. He's got high volume, higher than Minifield. And apart from getting dropped, from Minifield where Minifield might steal around, I think Justin Jacoby just outpoints this guy and outlands him and wins this decision. I don't think it's a hard fight for Jacoby, but it's always dangerous when you're dealing with a power puncher like Minifield. But Jacoby should win this fight. He's a much better striker. So much faster, great kickboxer. Jacoby's going to be the pick. Moving on. Now we're going to those are the early prelims. Well, I guess what I had originally as early prelims. I know some fights have moved up because of cancellations. But moving to the prelims. And Casey O'Neill versus Ariane Lipski. Casey O'Neill, 5'6", 69-inch reach, 9 wins, 1 loss, 26 years old. Ariane Lipski, 5'6", 67-inch reach, 16 wins, 8 losses, 29 years old. These are both girls I like to fade. Ariane Lipski, she let me down big time in a few fights. So confident in certain fights, and then she got KO'd and she lost and she got controlled on the ground. Huge letdown. And for the first time when I bet against her, she fought what's that little pudgy girl? Anyways, she had moved to a different camp, and she had looked like she really improved her cardio. And she really improved her wrestling ability. And she really improved her takedown defense. And she seemed very solid. And she dominated that fight. And I had bet against her. And the other girl was a huge favorite. She showed huge improvements. I thought, wow, this girl shows huge improvements. I couldn't believe it. So the next fight against Gatto, I had thought, okay, Gatto is good on the ground. So I bet on Lipski. Lipski did win that fight, and here's the thing: I actually thought Lipski lost that fight. I remember watching it, and I'm like, oh, she's gonna lose a close decision. And then it was a split decision, they gave it to Lipski. I thought, whoa, I'm alive. And I guess the judges, Gatto couldn't necessarily take it to the ground, and when they did, Lipski got back up. And it was just the Gatto outstruck her. But Gatto was always going around the ends, and she was tapping and touching her, nothing really hard. And Lipski, even though she didn't throw high volume, she threw the harder punches, and they gave it to her. So here's the thing is, O'Neill, man, I want to bet against O'Neill because I think she's way overrated. She beat Matafari. And then she gets put up into number 13, and I just don't think she's got the talent. I thought she was overrated. She fought a certain amount of fights that got her to a high level. I don't think she's that good, and I faded her against Maya. And Maya was the underdog. It was an easy pick, and Maya easily won that fight. She just outboxed her, outvolumed her. Casey couldn't take her down. Maya's got excellent takedown defense, and when she got taken down, she got right back up, and she just better boxing, moved her head off the center line, didn't get hit by O'Neill's shots. O'Neill just keeps coming forward like a bull. She does take a lot of punishment, but she wants to take the punishment to get close enough to you to grab you or to punch you back. So here's the problem. Now, I think that Lipski's going to be hitting the higher shots, but if you look at Casey O'Neill, she does throw a lot of volume. She's not a great striker, but she throws a lot of volume. It's going to go back to how are the judges going to look on this? Is Casey O'Neill, number one, going to be able to take Lipski down with her improved takedown defense? But having said that, O'Neill is a better at takedowns than Gatto. Lipski didn't throw a lot of volume against Gatto. O'Neill threw a lot of volume against Maya, and Maya threw even more volume back. So I've seen O'Neill throw a lot of volume. I haven't seen Lipski throw a lot of volume. Lipski's going to throw the harder punches. O'Neill's going to want to eat them. Is she going to be able to take her down? This is kind of going back and forth. I really didn't want to bet on O'Neill. I really wanted to bet on Lipski. This is going to be a coin flip fight. It depends how the judges look at it. It's going to be like the Gatto fight where you don't know who's going to win. How are the judges looking at this? I'm going to end up picking O'Neal, even though I don't really want to pick O'Neal. Maybe, I don't know, maybe because I like Lipski better. But I think O'Neal's going to do it on the volume. And if she can take a takedown, that'll just add to it. Lipski is going to try stand in the center and land power shots. She's got one path to victory. This is a real low confidence pick. I wouldn't mind picking Lipski as the underdog. I was looking for reasons to pick her as the underdog, but O'Neal's going to be the pick. But you'll see it's a low confidence. If you pick Lipski as an underdog, it's definitely a path. I do have a parlay where I kind of switched them around just because this is going to be a coin flip fight. I'm going to pick O'Neal on this one, even though I think she's overrated. But Lipski's, definitely not a super high caliber fighter. I think she's definitely not above mid tier. And O'Neal, she seems to be in the top 15. I don't even think she deserves to be that high, but she's definitely mid tier. So, anyways, O'Neal's going to be the pick. Close fight, you'll see on the board. Moving on, Cody Garbrandt versus Brian Kelleher. Cody Garbrandt, 5'8", 65.5-inch reach, 13 wins, 5 losses, 32 years old. Brian Kelleher, 5'6", 66-inch reach, 24 wins, 14 losses, 37 years old. Brian Kelleher, he's at the tail end of his career. He hasn't fought for over a year. He didn't look that bad that last time he fought, but I think he went through some serious surgery. He's a really tough guy. He's very durable. He's got great guillotine chokes. He's hard to hold down. And he'll take a punch to give a punch, and he punches fairly hard. So he's dangerous. And here's the thing is, right off the bat, when I looked at this fight, I picked Cody Garbrandt. Cody Garbrandt, he's definitely going to be the faster guy. He's got pretty good takedowns. He's got decent strike. He's a really good striker, fast, decent power, but fast. And man, he's got no chin. And even picking him against Trevin Jones last time, I was just at the edge of my seat, just making sure. Mind you, he kept taking him down, so I felt like he had a really good game plan to stay out of danger. But he did get hit a couple times, and he ran away, and that was fine because Trevin Jones does not throw a lot of volume, does not put that much pressure on you. And I think if he did, he had a chance to beat Cody Brandt, because Cody Brandt, I think, lost that third round. But just looking at this, going back from memory, and easy pick for Cody Garbrandt. But this is one of the fights where I couldn't send out the video yesterday, as I'm really looking at it and I'm thinking about it, man. Do I want to? Because he was a high-level pick. Because this fight's a setup for Cody Garbrandt to win. They want Cody Garbrandt to win. He's a good fighter. He's got no chin. He's got a huge following. They want him in this promotion. They want him in the UFC. So he's been working with wrestling. He's changing his total game plan to wrestling. And the more I looked at it, the more I realized, man, Brian Kelleher, he's fought against really good wrestlers. He's got a good get-up game. He's, Garbrandt's not a submission guy. Kelleher has some pretty good guillotines. And, Cody Garbrandt should win this. But when we have Cody Garbrandt in a parlay, we're going to be sweating. Let me tell you, it's not going to be comfortable to watch because at any moment, he could get touched up. And Kelleher does have decent power. I've seen him. He's stung Lineker a few times. He's not scared to engage. I had to move him way down. Like I had him in a high confidence, but I moved him to a real low confidence. Even though I'm going to pick Cody Garbrandt, I put him in the low confidence range because then he's going to be out of a few parlays, and then maybe I'll just swap Cody and him on some certain select small parlays that I have, just to avoid getting, killed by one big punch from Kelleher, just because we don't know what he's going to look like. Garbrandt is being set up to win this fight, but his chin might have a different story, so you don't know. Nevertheless, Cody Garbrandt's going to be the pick. Kelleher, he's going to be low confidence. He's going to be at the point where, in my lower level board where you could swap out Kelleher. I mean, Kelleher is a good underdog to pick in this one. he's got a path to victory, and Garbrandt has a path to lose. And he's got what he just got to make sure he doesn't get hit hard. That's Garbrandt's path to victory, which is not a good path. Anyways, Garbrandt's going to be the pick, very low confidence. Moving on, Irene Aldana versus Carol Rosa. Irene Aldana, 5'9", 68.5-inch reach, 14 wins, 7 losses, 35 years old. Carol Rosa, 5'5", 67.5-inch reach, 17 wins, 5 losses, 28 years old. Irene Aldana looked absolutely terrible in the last fight. I don't know how much stock we should put into it. She is 35 years old. I don't think she's over the hill. She's big. She's strong. She's like a bull, like a big horse. She's very, very strong, very powerful, and great punches. You know, I've seen her in fights where she's had great takedown defense, and then I've seen her in fights like the last fight against Nunes where she had terrible takedown defense. Like, she had no takedown defense, and I don't know if it was a Nunes thing, if Nunes is that good, or she was that intimidated by Nunes. She didn't want to get hurt on the feet by Nunes. I don't know. But she looked terrible on with her takedown defense. But if you look at her fighting history, she's done really well against really good opponents. So, I mean, right off the bat, I want to pick Aldana. And you look Carol Rosa. Carol Rosa's never really impressed me. Although last time she fought Norma Dumont to a close decision. And Norma Dumont, I thought she was a lot better than her. Rosa went up a weight class to fight her. So she's really tough. She's really durable. She's got somewhat of a good takedown game. She's young, but I just don't see that explosive power that you want to see in Rosa. She's really tough. She's really durable, and she's like this is going to be like the tortoise and the hare. She's like the tortoise. You know, she just keeps coming. Slowly but surely, she keeps coming, and she's going to slowly wear you down. And Aldana's like the hare. She's going to start off really fast, a lot of punches from range, landing a lot of punches, and I think Rosa's going to try to get closer and closer and closer to her. I don't think Rosa's that talented. Everybody is picking Rosa. I just don't see it. Irene Aldana, she had a bad fight last time. She is the favorite here. I mean, I'm going to go with Irene Aldana. I've seen her have pretty good takedown defense, except for the last fight. And Carol Rosa, she's always such a slow starter. She loses the first 2 rounds. She got stunned by, the elbow queen from Sweden. Anyways, she got stung in that fight. I had bet on Rosa in that fight, and she actually got hurt in the first round and lost the first round. And she came back to win the next 2. And so, I mean, that got me worried right there. Aldana hits a lot harder. She's from range. She's going to be much taller. I'm going to go with Aldana. I just don't buy into Rosa fighting at this level. I think she's going to be a good journeyman. I don't think she's going to move up past where she is. Moving on. Josh Emmett versus Bryce Mitchell. Josh Emmett, 5'6", 670-inch reach, 18 wins, 4 losses, 38 years old. Bryce Mitchell, 5'10", 70-inch reach, 16 wins, 2 losses, 29 years old. I mean, there's a huge age difference. Josh Emmett, he's got one path to victory. It's going to be the knockout. That's it. So he's 38 years old. He's durable. He's still durable. He's still a tough guy to get out of there. I mean, the only guys he's lost to are the highest level guys. He's really short, really stout, hard to take down. Bryce Mitchell needs to take him down. He's much taller, same reach, much younger, is going to be more durable. This is a dangerous fight for Bryce Mitchell. He's taking it on a short notice, but I think he's already been in shape. I think he's ready to fight. I think he's ready for a short notice fight. He was saying something like that. So I think Josh Emmett, man, it's Bryce Mitchell's fight to lose. If Emmett can catch him a couple times and steal some rounds, I don't see Emmett knocking him out. I could see Emmett just, being outlanded, and maybe Bryce Mitchell is going to have to work really hard. If he's got a good gas tank, he'll be able to take Josh Emmett down a few times. Josh Emmett might get up a few times, and Mitchell should win the grinding kind of fight. Emmett might steal some rounds if he, knocks him down or something like that, and that's the only thing I'm worried about. Otherwise, this is Bryce Mitchell's time. He is a top 5 guy. Emmett's leaving the top 5 because of his age. He should be retiring. he's going to be hard. It's going to be a hard fight. But looking at the Ige fight, I think Bryce Mitchell did good against Ige. It was a close fight. Josh Emmett beat Ige. I thought Ige beat him. Um, yeah, and looking how powerful Ige is and everything else, I think looking at that fight, Bryce Mitchell should win this fight. But it's the fight game. You never know what will happen. One lucky punch from Emmett, he might steal one round and might get a decision. So Bryce Mitchell will be the pick. I mean, it's high confidence in the fact that he should be winning, but you never know. With just a lucky shot from Emmett, he's got a lot of power. Moving on to the main card. Vincente Luque Ian Gary was canceled. Tony Ferguson versus Paddy Pimblett. Tony Ferguson, 5'11", 76.5-inch reach, 26 wins, 9 losses, 39 years old. Paddy Pimblett, 5'10", 73-inch reach, 20 wins, 3 losses, 28 years old. Okay, I'm going to disclose something. I picked Ferguson against Green because I didn't see him fight for a long time, and I saw some weaknesses in Green's game, and I thought, you know what? He was such a huge underdog. It's a very low confidence pick. But I said, you know what? He's got a path to victory. He was like plus 400 or something ridiculous like that. So I thought I'm going to go with him. Just, he was 39 or 38 years old at that point. I know he looks washed up, but you just don't know. He's only lost against the top guys. So anyways, he got destroyed. He didn't look effective. He didn't look powerful. He did catch Green a few times, but it couldn't really follow up with it. He couldn't take Green down, and he likes fighting off his back. And now he just goes to show that he can't take a lot of punishment. Once he gets hit a few times, he doesn't look like he's the same in there. And having a great ground game from your back is not the answer. It's just a recipe for you getting hammered. And here's in Paddy Pimblett. I mean, this guy is not that good, but he's got a good shtick. How can I put it? He's got a good promotion. All the guys in the he's big in the UK. UK's a big market. The UFC wants this guy to win. Okay, he's got the bobbing blonde hair. People are wearing those wigs in the crowd, and he's got that fun music coming in. He comes dancing.